Welcome, everybody, to the Hebrew Rebels podcast. My name is Jordan,
And my name is Ethan.
and right off the top, I want to apologize for the lack of shows that we've been putting out on this end recently. Uh, Life happens sometimes, technical difficulties happen sometimes it's a combination of both, and the last few weeks have been tough for this show at least. Game chat scheduling wise made it a little bit easier, but I just want to apologize. So we've missed a couple weeks. Can't promise that we won't miss a couple more going forwards, just especially with my computer problems at the moment, but we're trying, and I just wanted to formally apologize on behalf of myself and the show for that. But
And to balance that, I don't apologize because life happens
yeah, no,
and we're doing our best.
I understand. No, we are totally doing it.
So both ends of the spectrum.
We got a few little like small tidbits to talk about up front, and then on the second half of the show, we're going to talk about dream cars. But um, first, first thing on the list, I wanted to thank you for texting me. I don't know when it was, 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, pointing out that the AMC stock was as low as it's ever been after it had been in the $50, $60 range maybe 1 or 2 years ago, and it was down below $3. You just texted me that. You didn't say you were going to buy any, you didn't tell me to buy any, you just pointed it out. Like, that's a great point. It probably can't go much lower, and it has the potential to go much higher. So I bought some.
Yes.
Um, and
Okay.
we haven't done a podcast since this happened, but while I was back home, the night before I was leaving, it started skyrocketing. Sorry, not skyrocketing.
Yes.
That the day before I left, it had doubled. It had gone up to like 6. I'm like, oh my god. So I mean,
Yes.
I doubled my investment at that point, which is great. I'm like, it's still
Yeah.
climbing. I don't know what to do. By the time I had woken up and gotten on the plane, it had doubled and a little bit more again to like 13 something dollars. And I was like, "Oh god, do I sell it? Do I sell it now? Like it's still climbing. I didn't know what to do." But I was getting on a flight, so I was worried. So I put in like a if it drops back down below this point, sell. And while I was on the plane, that
Yeah.
happened. I ended up a little bit more than doubling my money. I think it hit a ceiling of like $14 or something. And it still is hovering
Okay.
like $1 or $2 higher than where I bought it. But I just wanted to thank you for pointing that out because it was a decent investment. And for some reason, the guy that caused the GameStop stock to
Yes.
skyrocket, this Cosmic
Bump
Kitty or
again.
whatever meme stocks, I don't get it. It's like
Yeah.
it's like anytime Elon Musk opens his mouth, Bitcoin does something weird. It's weird to me. But this guy said something or did something, and both GameStop and AMC skyrocketed in the same day.
Yeah.
Because of a
It's
meme? I don't
it's all
get it.
based on the stock market is purely based on perceived value. A lot of the time perceived value is this company shipped a million cars. There's value there. At other times, it's this guy who got a bunch of people to buy a bunch of stock and increase the value, said something else. So we're all doing this again now, and it's going back up again.
Yeah.
So less predictable, less reliable, definitely risky. Um, but it's free market.
I'm still in the mindset that I don't think AMC is gonna die. I think one way or another, no matter
Maybe
what
it'll evolve.
happens with the movie industry, I think they're gonna evolve. Exactly. They will find a way to stay relevant. So I do still think that it might climb again, when they start doing something a little bit new, a little bit different. Um,
But you don't have any anymore?
I don't currently. No, I was waiting for it seems to have kind of hit its floor again, so I might buy it again
Yeah.
at some point for some amount, but I I made some money, which was it felt good. It was very fun, very exciting, very scary. Not scary in the sense that I
No,
was
that's good.
losing anything, but it's like
I know what you
I
mean.
want to make as much as possible, but not lose out on any. I don't know. It was fun.
Yeah, the my biggest man, I didn't understand the stock market at all like 10 years ago. And if I had, I would have gotten so much stock in Tesla. I just didn't understand. I was like, yeah, of course they're gonna go on and be successful. Like I didn't realize what opportunity was there.
Yeah.
So mark that on, big miss for myself. And then did you hear who's now worth more than Amazon and Tesla combined?
Mm, a company,
Yeah,
Apple,
Nvidia.
really?
Yeah. They're like one of the most valuable companies in the world now.
Oh, that's
If you
crazy.
look at their what there's and around the same and 20 I looked up what they were when I was building my first computer.
Yeah.
Chump change. And now they're worth trillions of dollars.
Oh my god.
Like it's insane. So I'm determined to find the next one because I just always assumed these things were already high valued and apparently they weren't. So there
Yeah,
you
I
go.
mean, if you do a little bit of research and just put a little bit of money into sprinkle it around into some of these things, if any of them explode the way Tesla, Apple, Nvidia has, like that'll be a nice hunk of money 20 years down the road,
It's a
it's not going to be
marathon.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a marathon. I was gonna see. I don't think OpenAI has stock, but
That would be interesting. I could see that being
no, private
worthwhile.
company.
Yeah. They may be public at some point.
Yeah, there'll be somebody. Look at
Um,
us talking about the stock market.
yeah, no, I'm definitely interested in it. I'm gonna I have stocks in a couple other things, and I'm kind of determined to learn it better. And I'd like I'd like to be a little bit more successful with it. Like I have a stock market for dummies book that I want to
Nice.
read and fully understand. But yeah, so I thank you for that, and I wish I could thank you for warning me about the cicadas, but um, I didn't necessarily forget that they were coming, but when they did come, I didn't realize what was happening. Like there was one day that I was delivering packages and there was a bunch of bugs on the ground, dead ones. And I was like, "Ew, this
Yeah.
city's gross. I don't like it here."
Yep.
And it did not click with me until a couple days later, and I was still seeing them. I'm like, "Ew, I hate stepping around all these bugs." And I was delivering something to this lady and she's like, "Oh, it's my cicada net." I'm like, "Oh, God." And then like the next day, like clockwork, they were everywhere and they were loud as hell. And there are only certain cities
But
that
started slow.
it started slow, and today was the worst day of all, and it's been
Okay.
like 2 or 3 weeks now. I keep forgetting to look up how long it's supposed to last, but I mean it was deafening in some places. There's certain trees that
That's
they
crazy.
love that they lump onto, I think because they have to be old enough trees that like correlate with them or something. Dude, they're super weird. But
Hmm.
um there was a tree today that I ran under and it freaked them out and they all like scattered and were swarming around me. One of them hit me in the face. Like I hate them. I hate them so much. They're disgusting.
Yeah.
And
Do you have like have you taken pictures or videos of them?
I took a video today and I'll send it to you. It's uh
Yes, and that.
um yeah,
My my
people
mom's in Indiana. I
oh
wonder
yeah.
if they have them there.
Is she living in Indiana?
No, my aunt is there, so my mom is visiting her this
Okay.
weekend.
Yeah, ask her. I'm curious. It's so weird too because the places I'm delivering to, which are, 20 minutes that way, have them. Where we are
Yeah.
right here, zero. I don't see them, I don't hear them. They are
Wow.
not here for some reason, which is so lucky because there was one
Yeah,
house I
that's
delivered
nice.
to today that I don't know if they shut up ever. I don't know if they sleep, but if they were outside my house, I would have to find a hotel because it was deafeningly loud.
Yeah, I mean, this is the double brood or whatever.
Yeah.
Do cicadas go quiet at night? The truth is, in most cases, they do not.
Yeah.
Maybe that's do they sing at night?
I feel like they do. I feel like being in the desert and like Palm Springs or whatever, I feel like you hear cicadas. Are those cicadas? I'm so confused because they eat trees.
7 years ago on the Chicago Reddit, it says anyone else unnerved by the cicadas screaming late into the night? And then this says theoretically they don't sing at night. However, I hear them too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just trauma from the day.
So yeah, they're awful. I remember you saying like get merch or whatever. Even if there was any, I wouldn't want it. I despise them.
I have a shirt from like Ohio when I was a kid when it happened.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were joking about that.
No, yeah. I don't remember what exactly where. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was Virginia or whatever. But yeah, I do. I remember them cicadas. Glad we don't
That's
have them out here.
oh my god, yeah, that's funny. I'll look and see if there is any. Just see what people
Burn them all.
are making for it. But yeah, they're horrendous. I can't wait for them to leave. When I wrote down this next point on our note, Caitlin Clark and the Fever had not won their first game yet. And the reason I wrote
Yes.
it down was because, okay, I'm going to preface this. I am not a hater.
Yes.
I am also uninformed. I just wanted to point out that every time I opened up Instagram, it was a new post from SportsCenter or ESPN of her doing something weird or clumsy or like tripping or getting like. It seemed like she was messing up a lot. And I'm like, I understand she's new, like, or
Yeah.
whatever. Maybe these girls are bigger in the NBA from the WNBA or whatever, but it seemed like there was so much hype, number one drafted, all this stuff to kind of a not great entrance. However, since then they've won, and I've also seen her stats, and they're incredible and all that stuff. But
Yes. Okay.
it
Yeah.
was just funny, like they seemed to
The
be emphasizing all of her mistakes.
yes, that's what it is. The haters are out in force, and thankfully, honestly, LeBron, Charles Barkley, like these big names have been coming to her defense
Yeah.
and telling her like just stick with it. It's crazy. Like so the first win they got was here in LA
Yep.
in Kobe's house.
Yep.
Sold out every single seat.
They
Like
they had
more
to
attendance than for Lakers.
they had to move where they were going to play. The Sparks don't even play in crypto right now.
So they normally do. They had been scheduled to not be there because they're doing the phase 3 renovations of crypto
Yeah.
where they're gonna open up that big window and do the balconies and stuff. So they had, but the hype was so big, so I think they've delayed that.
That's so cool.
But yeah, and she hit a dagger at the end to seal that game. But they've been beating her up. Like the Maya said it. Women are vicious, man. Like it's crazy.
You mean the players have been beating her up,
And
like kind of like hazing her?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know about hazing, but they're like, and it's just like she just elevated all of you. She just got all of you chartered flights, and then this is this whatever. So it's only gonna make her better.
Yeah.
And I think she was the first WNBA player with like 30 and 15 and 5 and 5 and 5 and 2 and 3 or whatever. She's had like some crazy stat lines. Sparks also got a really good draft pick, Cameron Brink.
Yeah.
She's the super tall blonde girl.
Yep.
Yeah, she's making a name for herself.
She was number 2,
She
right?
was with Shohei at 4.
Drafted number 2 or 4?
Drafted number 4. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure
Yeah.
we had the 4th pick.
Yeah, I saw her with Shuhei.
Was it 2? Did I get that?
I might be
Maybe
wrong.
she was 2 and we had number 4?
Okay.
No. I want to get that right. Because it would make sense that she was the number 2 pick. I'm just getting it all mixed up because they had multiple picks. Yeah, no. She was number 2. That's right. And then the Sparks also had the 4th pick. That's what I was mixing up. So I I think she's a good fit on the Sparks, and they need to be better. So I don't know. Maybe I'll end up at a WNBA game before long. I'm
Yeah,
down.
it's so the Fever. If she stays there, I don't know how long her contract is or whatever. I'm hoping you would assume they're going to build the team around her because clearly, do they have a lottery also, or do they just go in reverse order of like record?
Lottery.
Okay, but still, to be the number one pick, like they were probably pretty bad, I assume, and that's
Oh, they've been the worst team. They've been the worst team, and it hasn't even been close.
yeah. And okay, so she's doing her best
The
to
Sparks
elevate the team.
the Sparks were the third worst team, I think. So they actually jumped.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm excited to see how well she can kind of rebuild that team. Um, Taylor's
I'm
cousin
still not
actually
seeing a
went to
player
that
like
Sparks
her.
game.
Oh, out here?
Her first WNBA game, and she got like good grades or something in school, and she said she wanted to go to her first WNBA game, and she went to that one.
That's that shows how things are changing.
Yeah, and then she was interviewed on like local news afterwards. They talked to her after the game. It's pretty cool.
Taylor's cousin?
Yeah,
What are the chances of
I
that?
know. It's crazy.
Good, good for her. Um, yeah. Have you been following the NBA playoffs at all? It's been kind of dramatic.
Yeah,
Well, in the West, the East isn't. Boston did a little. They've been.
just danced right through. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I've been
zero
following
competition.
loosely.
Dude, Luca is a bad man, and I don't remember if you said if you liked him or if you disliked
I
him.
love Luca. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I love Luca. Um, pretty much from right away, I've been like he's been like my next favorite player in the NBA, and I've wanted him on the Lakers. Now he's gonna probably end up staying there, but the stuff he is saying, I can't think of anybody talking the kind of trash that he's talking,
Really?
both to the other. Oh yeah, he's like, "F you, you mf'er, I'm gonna make you cry," and you're a little. I'm trying to like. It's hard to replicate all the horrible trash talk he's
Yeah.
saying without saying it. Um,
Is he like
which is funny.
being a dick about it though, or is he just super hyped up, like amped up in the moment? Like, are people hating him for it,
Oh no,
or
not at all. Nah,
okay,
it's
okay,
like and it's backed up,
yeah,
and he's just killing. He had like 20 points in the first quarter. So they were up 3-0. Minnesota held that game. They didn't want to get swept. And then they beat him by like 30. NBA Finals.
yeah.
Mavs, Celtics. I think game 1 is Tuesday. The 6th? When's the 6th? Thursday. Next Thursday?
Are you really?
Yes.
It's a week break until the finals start,
So the game 1 of the finals is like set in stone.
right?
And they swept and finished in 5 games. So
Yeah, true,
it's over a week early.
true.
Otherwise, it would have been like through Sunday, let's say, Sunday or Monday, and then they would have had like 2 days off. So it should be good.
I'll be pretty invested in the finals for sure, because yeah, I like Luca and I don't want the Celtics to win. So I'm hoping he can like dig deep and they can dig deep and pull something off, because I definitely don't want the
Kyrie's been
Celtics to
cooking.
sit eight.
There's really good drama with this too. So Kyrie used to be a Celtic.
Yep.
He's going against them, and Porzingis was on the Mavs. He was the first pairing that they tried with Luca, and it did not work.
Right.
And I think he's been hurt. I think he's going to come back. I don't know if he played in their last game, but there should be lots of drama. Kyrie stepped on Lucky, their mascot, like on the floor,
Yeah.
and like they hate him for that. And it obviously didn't end well there. So
When he was a Celtic?
no, when he was on the Nets
Oh, okay.
and he showed up back there. So there's some bad blood in between these two teams. I don't think the Celtics have a chance.
Really?
They barely beat the Pacers, and the Mavs like handed the Wolves a pretty good loss. And this is a Wolves team that beat the Nuggets in 7, and the Nuggets like beat the Celtics last year. So to me, the Mavs are
Sure.
like notches above.
Sure. When you say
Obviously, everything. Huh?
when you say the Celtics barely beat the Pacers, you mean like in each individual game, like it was close? Yeah.
Yeah, most of the games, and they didn't have Halliburton. Like every team the Celtics faced had all their best players were hurt,
Yeah.
which is pretty lame. So I don't care as long as they lose.
We'll see.
F Boston,
Yeah. Yeah.
in the words of all Laker fans. Have you seen? So Maya sent me one I think today. Have you seen the AI videos?
Of what?
Like press conferences, like post game press conferences of players.
No.
They are some of the best AI content out there, period.
Really?
So it's like Luca in a press conference being like, "Yeah, I'm the baddest white boy out here. I beat all these guys." Like it's just ridiculous things nobody would say in a press conference.
Yeah.
But all the things like that people say on Twitter, but turned into a real video as if they're saying this in the press conference. They're
That's
very funny.
that's cool.
So I just saw a Luca one. The best ones though are LeBron. LeBron, there's a lot of memes about him like saying he knew this or he knew this was gonna happen or he was there when this happened. Like there's a lot of memes about LeBron, like where he's said stuff. Um and so they're doing this with LeBron clips. And my favorite one is he's talking about like, oh yeah, back in World War II, like we were out in Los Alamos and stuff. Like he's talking about how he invented the nuclear bomb.
Oh my
And
god.
he's like, yeah, my boy Robert Oppenheimer. But it sounds like LeBron. It's him saying it. I'll send it to you. It's very
Yeah.
funny.
That's awesome.
LeBronheimer or something is what they called it.
That's a good name.
And then there was another one. He's like, yeah, about 400,000 years ago, me and the boys were out there, and I started banging these rocks together and saw a spark fly. And I was like, what if I keep doing this for a while? I might get some. He's talking about creating fire.
Yeah.
It's just like stuff like that.
So weird.
It's funny. It's weird, but the world's not going to end because of AI. That's what we're going to get because of AI.
It might end at some point, but in the meantime, we'll get some fun stuff.
We'll enjoy it. Let's do an AI podcast. I think some people have tried that. Have it generate an entire script and just read it.
Yeah, I've heard some of those.
Yes.
Well, let's have
Maybe we
AI
won't do that.
generate what our theme cars, our favorite cars, have been and currently are, and we will talk about that after the break. If you like what we do, we'd really appreciate if you'd consider supporting us on Patreon. Now more than ever, small independent teams need all the help they can get, and we'd love to have you join the rebellion.
Joining us on Patreon can get you a wide array of perks, starting with our 1-star tier. Joining this tier will get you voting rights for Movie Madness, our weekly journey through an actor's entire filmography.
Our 2-star tier will give you extended episodes of the Hebrew Rebels podcast, Game Chat Tonight, and Movie Madness, both ad-free and a day early. Plus, you can write into those shows for a chance to have your questions and comments read on the podcast.
The 3-star tier delivers the most value with our Patreon exclusive shows. You will get a monthly episode of Crossword Struggle and Climbing the Ranks. And we have more exclusive shows planned to add even more value to this tier.
Next, as a 4-star rebel, your name will be listed in an on-screen shoutout on each of our weekly scheduled shows.
Finally, you can be one of only 24 people to be considered a Founding Rebel. You will receive a limited edition Founding Rebel t-shirt. Your name will be read on each of our shows as a Founding Rebel, and you will forever be remembered as one of the very few people to truly help start the rebellion.
Visit patreon.com/HebrewRebels for more information. Thank you so much for your support, and back to the show. All right, welcome back. Thank you for listening to that ad for our Patreon, or if you are subscribed to our Patreon, you didn't have to hear it, and we thank you very much for that. We're going to talk about dream cars. This is a topic that you proposed a few weeks ago, and I'd like to let you start since this was your idea. What do you want to do? Do you want to go back in time? Do you want to start with our first favorite cars and then work up to now?
I want to go back in time because I have one now, and I think it's the last one I'll ever have.
Okay.
So I think we should go back in time. I'm gonna have weird ones.
Yeah.
I'm not a big car person, like ever historically, and it's actually a classic car.
Okay.
There's not really any like crazy like I never wanted a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or even a Mercedes. Like I don't I just I never really cared about that stuff. I always wanted a Woody
Yeah.
wagon, I guess is what it's called.
Yeah.
But a Woody. And they are not cheap either. Uh but it's like classic California car. And we were talking about this on the pre-show, but I think it got rooted in my brain from Rocket Power because that was the car that they had in that show.
Yep.
And I just always thought it was very cool vibes.
It is very cool.
So
That
I literally have like old bookmarks of that saved because like I was like one day maybe.
yeah. Is that your current one, or is that like one you used to love? Like, or
Used to.
okay.
I still like that car, but I don't think it's practical enough to invest in it.
My
Not
first
that this is going off practicality.
Oh yeah, no, no, no. Definitely not. My the first car that I remember loving was from playing Need for Speed Underground, and it was the
Okay.
car that I worked my way through the entire time. I remember tricking it out with the neon lights and all the kind of body modifications and that stuff. And because of how I changed it, I thought the car was really cool. Now that I look at it today, it is not cool at all, but it's the Peugeot 206, Peugeot. It's like, I don't know, some European thing. It actually looks very similar to the
French.
car I used to have, the Volkswagen.
What year do you know?
No, just any one of them. I'm not sure. Actually, if I look it up, I see a version of it that's like a rally car. I understand why I liked it, and I think me liking this type of car lasted into why I chose getting the Volkswagen that I did. Um, but that was the first
I
car that
found
I
it
fell in
in
love with.
Underground too.
Oh, did you?
And it's very cool looking.
Is it Underground too?
It's kind of like a rally car.
Yeah.
It's probably in the first one, but this came up for Underground.
You would
I love
expect to
that.
see
That's so good.
somebody have it in Need for Speed, or not Need for in Fast and Furious. You know, somebody would have a car
Yeah,
like that. But yeah, that was my first car love.
dude. You mentioned Fast and the Furious, and I have to say one of my favorite cars from Fast and the Furious was the Supra,
Oh, yeah.
the classic '90s Supra. Oh, it's so clean. I don't. Oh, I don't like. I always hesitate. Like, would I even fit in these cars? That's probably my favorite Fast and Furious car, though.
That one is very
Was
cool.
Paul Walker's Supra,
That one is very...
and I recreated it in GTA.
Oh, the orange one you're talking about, right?
Yep.
Honestly, the current Supra is very cool as well.
Yes, I agree.
When they brought it back, um, I see them around. I'm like, I would love to have one, but um,
They nailed the design.
yeah. Another another one that I just remembered that is not practical and is not even real, but it's from a Hot Wheels movie that I used to watch, and it's
Oh,
called Diora
the Hot
2.
Wheels one?
Um, it was like it's kind of in line with your Woody. Like it's a very surfer kind of car. It has a spot on the back to put two surfboards, but the front part, the front hatch like lifts open like, forwards, and there's just two seats in there. And the main character of this Hot Wheels movie that I used to watch called Highway 35 drove this car, and I was obsessed with it. I'm like, I need to have that someday. Looks like there is a real version of it. I don't know if it's like street legal, but someone made it. But yeah, I
I
love this
didn't
thing.
know there were Hot Wheels movies,
Oh, dude, some of my favorite
and I
things
was
ever.
obsessed with Hot Wheels.
There was Highway
I
35.
also love. Yeah, I found that.
And then they had like a sequel
Dude.
series called Acceleracers, which was like some of the same characters and then some new characters and like new cars, and they transported universes and stuff. But like I rewatch those every few years still because of how cool they are and how much I love them as a kid. I had Highway 35, there was 35 different cars on like separate teams. I had all of the physical cars in a collection case and everything. I
Wow.
still have those in the attic somewhere. Yeah, love them.
So I did find one. I think somebody made one. I got to go through all my Hot Wheels. I was trying to see if it was in Forza because they
Oh,
do Forza Horizon Hot Wheels,
yeah.
and I think they added it.
Dior too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I'm pretty sure they added it to Hot Wheels Unleashed. I think you had to pay for it, and I did, and then never did or played that game again. But
Oh, yeah. I think they added it in that too. I love. This is such a cool car, like that I never knew existed. I love how dedicated it is for surfboards.
yes, 100%.
We're gonna all this real estate. It could go on the roof, but it's gonna be a specific cutout for the surfboards.
It
It's
was
it's vibes
the
for sure.
start of this movie is this kid, all he does is surf, right? And his dad, who's like a military
Perfect.
general, thinks he's like a burnout and he's such a disappointment, and he's like, you need to find a job. I'm going back to the army. When I get back, you better have your life figured out. And then he's off
Oh
surfing,
my
and
god.
because of his surfing skills, he gets chosen to be the
Yeah.
leader of the Wave Rippers for this Hot Wheels team. It's like, it's so ridiculous but awesome. And then
Let's go.
then that's where he finds his calling, and it's amazing.
That's
Name
funny.
Burt Wheeler is his name. You
Oh
know what?
yeah. He's like Tony Hawk.
He surfs, but he skateboards in the beginning of the movie. Yeah, totally. Yeah, love that.
Vert, yeah, Tony Hawk, Vert Wheeler.
Burt Wheeler.
Dude, that was the era. We were talking about X Games and stuff too.
Yep.
Um, and that's just that whole era. Good times. I love doing this because I keep remembering like other other cars and whatnot that I was fond of over the years.
Yeah.
And I would say the only supercar that I've ever been interested in, and I say interested lightly. Um, I really like Lexus. I've always liked Lexus design.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense since I just mentioned Toyota. Are you familiar with the Lexus LFA?
Not by name. Ooh, it's nice.
So I mentioned this to one of my coworkers who also likes cars,
Yeah.
and he knew the car that I was referencing. It was a very limited run, but apparently it's like considered one of the best sounding cars ever.
Okay.
Like what they did with the engine or something.
Cool.
Um, and it's very expensive. But shout out to the Lexus LFA,
It's very sleek.
LFA, LFMAO,
LF.
LMFAO,
uh, one that this car reminded me of is the Nissan
R.
GTR. Yeah, kind of looks similar a little bit. I think the GTR is a little bit shorter, but I love that
Oh
car.
yeah, that's a clean car.
Yeah. Both of those I think are, yeah, I feel like I've seen in like racing,
Yeah,
like what am I thinking of? Like that supercar kind of racing where there's like different classes of cars in the same race. There'll be like
yeah.
the Nissan team and a Lexus team, and they're both driving like different shaped cars even. So I mean, okay, my next favorite car after the Peugeot was definitely when Transformers came out, and I was obsessed with the Camaro for a long time.
Best marketing ever.
Yeah,
That was that the debut of the new design.
I think so. I don't know if it was the debut, but it was like I don't know if Transformers debuted it. Maybe it did.
I think they may have.
Really?
I think they did.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I
and
was
and they just
obsessed with
retired
it.
it, right?
Maybe they should have. It got bad, honestly. I remember My dad loved it too when the new design came out, and we were kind of familiar with the different years and how they changed them, and they just started looking off. And honestly, now when I look at a Camaro, I don't really like it. It's weird the way it's changed to me over the years, but in that moment of time, I was in love, and I'm like, this is the only car I ever want.
I I remember that. That car was striking.
Yeah,
And I'm looking this up because I think it was a concept car at the time.
really.
Yeah. Like it did not come out until 2010,
Transformers 2008.
I think.
That's crazy. That's insane, actually.
2007.
Wow.
2007.
Really?
That's what I remember. I remember like they made that movie and that car was it was like, what is this thing is incredible. What is this? Like this is a Camaro? Like, are you kidding me? And it was like 3 years until it was like
Wow.
purchasable.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I find myself now just thinking it
That's a great
looks
call out.
very plasticky. I don't really like it. I actually much prefer the like 68, 69 Camaros. Uh, I don't think the
Yeah.
inside's going to be as nice, but they look much better. Um, I fell out of love with it, but
It's interesting how things change.
yeah.
2009 to 2015.
They stopped it in 2015.
And then they tweaked it and they updated it,
Huh.
made it the sixth generation. And that one just ran from 2015 to December of 2023.
Wow.
And it has no successor.
Yeah, it'll be a while. They'll bring it back again someday, but it'll be a while.
That's almost 15-year run. That's pretty solid.
Oh yeah.
And if I remember the one before it was hideous.
Oh my god,
And it
yes.
ran from 92 to 2002.
Yes. The 90s
Like
Camaro sucked.
and then that was like almost 10 years in between. Like that was a glow up. That was a massive glow up. It's crazy that era is over.
I know. Still making
Tear out
Transformers
for the
movies
Camaro.
though.
That's it. Wow. Also, Dad.
Yes. Terrible.
Because that first Transformers movie was awesome.
Yeah.
I, I'll do another movie shout out. I don't know if I ever wanted this car, but it was the Audi R8.
That is on my list. That is the one that I saw today that sparked me. Like I think
Damn,
probably
Iron Man.
I loved the Camaro like into high school, and I think the R8 kind of replaced it. Um, and same thing. They're still very cool, but I wouldn't want one.
Yeah, yeah. They're only $160,000.
My God, that's insane. But yeah,
The R8 is cool.
it
Oh my
is.
god. Yeah, I'm realizing cars that I've wanted. My cars are so much lamer than yours.
What? No, tell me.
Okay, I'll start with the slightly nicer one.
Yeah.
I wanted the mid 2000s Range Rover.
Okay.
Do you have a visualization of what car that is?
I'm looking.
Like a 2006 Range Rover.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
This was the car that they had in the OC. Have you ever watched that?
No.
Yeah. Dude, mid 2000 vibes like crazy. Um and they were the rich family in Orange County, even though it
Yeah.
was filmed in Torrance. Um and I really wanted one of these cars when I moved back after high school.
Yeah.
And I actually, funny story, found a listing. This was when we were still slightly uneducated and learning about the ways of the internet. Found a listing that was so obviously spam and like trying to get your information and stuff. It was like super cheap and affordable. And I was like trying to get my mom, like, can I get this? Like, look at this price. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And the story, and this is one of the times when I learned the lesson. If it's too good to be true, it's because it is.
Yes.
You are not finding some special thing. And it was like this mom who had bought it, and their son went to the military and passed away, and she wanted to like give it away, and it to go to like a good place and stuff. And I remember I think we reached out like multiple times, and then got weird responses, and we were like, I think this isn't real, and
Yeah.
that was crushing. But turns out those cars are have one of the worst maintenance records
Oh my God,
around.
really?
So super expensive and super expensive to maintain and break down.
That sucks.
But they look nice.
What do you think of
Yeah.
G-Wagons?
I hate them.
Do you?
I despise them. I don't like them if they were a cheap car. Them being the price they are makes me hate them even more.
Yeah, I get it. I do like the look of
They
them, but they're absurdly priced. I mean, they're a cube, but oh, remember the cube?
I do remember that was so you mentioned your first car. My first car was a 99 Jeep Grand Cherokee. You remember that car, the one that stopped on the freeway?
Yes.
Loved that car. It was a used car.
It was a great car.
That was about 11 years old when I got it. Huh?
It was a great car.
It was a great car. At the dealership, I had it was potentially it was that or a brand new Scion Cube. But for some reason, the dealer convinced my mom not to get me a new car.
Wait,
Would have been the same cost.
Nissan Cube. Are you? Was it a Scion
Oh,
that you
Scion.
almost had? Because Scion had
Oh,
something
I'm thinking of
weird
the box
too.
car.
Yeah, what was theirs?
I'm
That
I'm
one is a
thinking of the
little bit
Scion
better.
box
The
car.
Nissan Cube is ugly. What was the Scion? I was
Scion
just trying to think
XB.
of that. Yes.
Yeah,
Better. It
almost
is
got one of those. I
it,
fit in it.
That's crazy because I feel like they're very low profile.
Yeah.
The Scion
Oh yeah, the
XB is a
Cube is
little
weird.
bit better than the Cube. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very much like first car, kind of cheap but cool.
Yeah. Going back
Yeah.
to the Land Rover, one of my still favorite cars is the Range Rover Evoque. It's
Oh man, that one looks painful.
why? Because it's small.
Yeah, it looks like it would hurt me
It's
as
a
a large person.
small SUV, but I just like the way it's shaped. It looks fast.
I agree.
It looks like a go-kart, but with a full car body that can just kind of like zip around.
It's kind of cool. Even the name is cool.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's been one of my favorites for a long time. Go ahead.
To stay on the Land Rover train. So in Sri Lanka, my mom had a Land Rover Discovery,
Okay.
and it was like late 90s, so it was like a 97, and it was white. That was a great car. Heavy duty. I I loved that car, low key.
Oh yeah.
And it was and it was white. And it had like the cool windows like up in the back, like safari car, total safari car.
Yeah.
And that was our Sri Lanka car. And like people would like go up to my mom and like offer to buy it because it was really difficult to get cars into Sri Lanka. Like they offered her way more money. Like I don't even know how much they offered her, but you weren't technically allowed to sell it to like locals.
Right.
And so she didn't do it to be like moral or whatever.
Yeah.
And so she shipped it when she moved to Uganda, and it was never the same. It like got damaged on transit,
no.
and it just had problems and problems. And it was like, yeah, you should have just sold it. It could have stayed in Sri Lanka. Like you would have got a ton of money. So lesson learned.
That sucks. Yeah, I'm looking at a 2004 white Discovery. It looks very cool.
Oh, I don't know what the 2004 one looks
Oh
like.
wait, what year was yours?
Like 97.
Oh, okay.
Similar. That one's just like a little bit updated. Like they kept the design like a 97 or a 98.
I like what you
Yeah.
mean, what you're saying about like a safari car. It definitely looks like it can do some off-roading. I love that.
Yeah, I had the like top windows in the back.
One
That's a great
more
car.
boxy car that I've always loved for some reason is the Ford Flex. It's honestly hideous, and I don't know why I like it. For some reason, I've always had this
Ah,
correlation with the Ford Flex that it's what a director would drive. I feel like a movie director should be driving a Ford Flex. I don't know why. Obviously, directors are rich; they wouldn't drive a Ford Flex. But I'm like, in my mind, I want to be a director and I want a Ford Flex in the garage, and like that's always been there since the Flex came out, and I it won't go away for some.
that's that's fascinating to me because I've only ever looked at this car and thought, cool soccer mom.
Yep, yep, yep.
And I'm so sorry.
No, that
Like, you
honestly,
don't have a minivan anymore. You have a Ford Flex because
it
you're a cool soccer mom.
uh yeah,
And I think because it's low to the ground,
yes,
that was always what tripped me out about it. Not that it's like a horrible car, but it's like they like lowered it, but kept it like looking like an SUV.
yeah.
Not a horrible car. I'm not hating.
No, I mean it doesn't look like it drives well at all, but
I don't. Is it still in production?
I don't know. Mm,
I'll be honest. Didn't think the Ford Flex would come up on the dream car discussion, but
no,
I like where we're going
but
with
it
this.
it
We're
would.
touching everything.
We really are. Do you have another one in mind?
I have one more bad one.
Okay.
So when I was moving back to the States for college, I was getting a truck. That it
Oh
was
my God.
happening.
Yes.
I wanted a truck. I needed a truck. I was out of America. America's about trucks. And there were two that I wanted. One was like the classic mid 2000s, late 2000s F-150.
Yeah.
Very simple. That one I really liked that car, but I was like, I don't think I can afford like the one that I want. Afford the Ford that I want. And so the one that like my mom and my grandma really liked, that like I was convinced this was gonna be the car that I got. Chevy Avalanche.
Oh. Yeah.
It has that weird like it's like an SUV but also a truck.
Yep.
The bullets I dodged with both of those, uh ending up with my Jeep. I actually asked Maya about this recently because my now wife hates trucks,
Okay.
despises trucks. And I asked her, I was like, what if I had a truck in college when we met? Could like my entire life could be different.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, maybe not, but
That's hilarious.
and what if I had a box car? The Jeep was the
Instead of a cool
perfect middle
Jeep.
ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ford
So
Raptor's always been my favorite truck.
oh, that's like objectively the best truck.
It's the coolest
That
looking.
was a dream car of mine. That was definitely a dream car of mine at one point.
There's also that I forget what it's called. Hold on. I know how to look this up.
Dude, the Raptor is so sick.
It's sick. But actually,
My neighbor had one. Do you remember that? There's a guy on that had a
yes.
white Raptor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Look up uh 1985 Toyota SR5. The way I looked this up was Marty McFly's truck. This isn't even
Oh,
exactly the truck I'm thinking of, but something like this with the lamps up
yeah.
on
The
top, and
lights.
it's got the
Yep.
bars that connect to the bed. I don't like off-roading. I'm not
Classic.
even that kind of person, but I love the way it's got the KC lights in front. Very cool.
Yeah.
I love the way um
That's a sick truck.
that's an old one. I have another old one. Most of my cars are pretty modern. Well, that's not true. I talked about some like mid 2000 ones, but um another 80s car that I like is the Ferrari Testarossa.
Oh, I think I know that one.
It might be the car that Leo drives in Wolf of Wall Street, or that was a Lamborghini. I think that was a Lambo. But I just like it because it screams 80s. From
You know what car this is?
what is it?
It's the Cheetah in GTA.
Okay, yes.
I love this car.
It's so
Yes,
cool.
that's a great call
It's
out.
so unique, the like
And
the stripes and the vents on the side. I love this car.
dude, yeah, 1990 Ferrari Testarossa popped up from Car and Driver, and this I would co-sign.
Yeah.
This should be the Huber Rebels car.
Oh my god, yeah. That would be sick. I've seen
Like,
maybe two out on the road ever, and it's very cool to see them in use. But
I'm gonna look it up. How much are they?
a lot.
Like a depressing amount?
I think
Eh,
so, yeah.
143,000,
Eh, it's not obscene. It's a lot.
186,000, 1 to 200,000. Not gonna happen.
No, but very, very
Maybe
cool.
a toy model
Yeah.
or a test drive.
I think I have two left, and one is gonna feed into the other. If oh no, that's not true. I have four more. Never mind, I lied.
Okay. I I first started thinking about this. I was with some people that were talking about their dream cars, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I don't have a dream car. I just don't. There's no vehicle that I'm like, oh, if I had all the money in the world, I would get this.
Yeah,
And that bothered me. Not that I needed to go get one, but it bothered me that I didn't even have like a fantasy dream car.
right.
And I was like, let me like try to find one. And I thought I found one. And I don't remember how I landed on this brand, but I got super into Porsche.
Okay.
And I honed in on the Porsche Cayenne, specifically like the plug-in hybrid or future electric one, but it's like a thick, solid like Porsche SUV.
Very nice.
Very nice. And then I went down the rabbit hole of like, let me build one on the website. Porsche's insane. Insane. The details that you could make this car like $300,000 if you
Okay.
customize like everything
Yeah.
of it. And
What is it to
so it
start?
was like 100,000. Like
Okay.
like I would say like 100,000 for like a solid version. And then, like the more I thought about it, it just made me sad because apparently they don't age well. They're super expensive to maintain, and so the dream just fell apart.
Yeah.
And it was kind of depressing.
Of
And I was like, this
those,
is no longer a dream car.
I like Porsche as a brand. They don't seem they're very
Oh yeah,
fancy, but they don't you don't look at someone with a Porsche and be like, what a douche, you know? Like
yeah,
uh,
I agree.
and if there's a someone watching this that owns a Lambo, no offense, but you know what I mean when I say that. Like
Different.
like they're also I just don't like the way they look anymore. They used to be so striking, but
I,
Lambos are ugly most of the time.
I totally agree. I think you have to have a crazy amount of money to like be into that.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
The Porsches are very
If
sleek,
I had
very soft edges, and I like the way they look.
Yeah. I if I had all the money and I didn't have to stress and I could just get a really, really nice car, I'd get this car probably.
Yeah,
Or some type of variation on a Porsche.
cool.
For like a daily driver. It's like probably the nicest daily driver I would get.
Yes, I totally understand and agree with that. I think the most consistent and like longest running dream car that I've had. I don't necessarily know which one. I know which one, but it's actually not a real model. Is
Oh.
Aston Martin, specifically
Oh,
the
yeah.
DB9, but I think there's only like 10 of those actually that they made because I think it was James Bond movie or something. I don't know, but
Oh, that's classic. Yeah, that's the James Bond car.
I like the Vantage or the one that starts with a P, Phantom or something. I don't know, but Aston Martins are, I think, to me the most beautiful cars that there are. And I almost certainly will
Vanquish?
Vanquish maybe, but yeah, those have been my favorite for a very, very, very long.
Dude, the DB5, the like classic Aston Martin,
Yeah,
that one's on my list. I made sure to get that car in GTA because that was like That's one of my favorite ones.
Oh my
Great
god,
call
yeah.
on Aston Martin. The DB5, right?
Yeah.
And the DB9.
Oh, I need the D. You know what? Actually, I look at it now and I don't even like it as much as I used to.
It's of that time period,
Yeah. Current
right?
Aston Martins still are striking to me, but that car from back
100%.
then, not doing it for me.
Yeah.
That's very strange.
The Vanquish is nice.
Yeah.
The Vanquish is nice. Tastes change.
What else do you got?
I know. I'm pretty sure there's one on here that we both have.
Really? I know I'm forgetting
So
stuff.
we talked a lot about trucks.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Cybertruck.
Yeah.
This this is one that I very much had on my list, but unfortunately has fallen off of my
Maybe
list.
my shortest lived dream car of all of them. There was one point where I'm like, I'm gonna have an Aston Martin, a Cybertruck, and this car that I'll talk about in a minute, all in my garage, and they're all gonna be silver, and I can't wait to like showcase all of them. But yeah, I don't think I need to have a Cybertruck anymore.
I'm happy it exists. I'm
Totally.
not like, oh, now actually I hate the Cybertruck. I'm very happy it exists. I still like the design. I just don't like Tesla anymore.
Yeah.
Not like I hate people that own Teslas, like they're assholes and they are stupid drivers and like it's not a reason to not get a car from a brand, but like I will never buy a BMW. I hope that third car that you have is not a BMW
Nope.
because I thank God. No, BMWs are notoriously the worst drivers. Tesla is now
I
in that
I
conversation.
do really like the M4 though. I like the M4 a lot, but
Which one is that?
kind of long. But it's like still a two-door car, I think. I don't know. It's
Classic. Yeah, classic.
um yeah, Cybertruck is nice.
But yeah, shout out to the Cybertruck.
I love seeing
I
them.
also
I love
don't want an
looking at them.
apocalypse car anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't need that. I'd rather get a Rivian, honestly.
Yeah,
You know what? Shout out to the new Rivian R3. Have you seen that?
yeah.
The new one they debuted? It's like very 70s styled. I actually Oh wait, R3, right? Yeah, yeah. I actually showed this to my mom and I was like, because she had seen a Rivian. I was like, it's a Rivian that she saw. Like, she's like, I didn't know what it was. Like, it looked all cool and new and futuristic and stuff. And I was like, they just announced the R3, and I showed her this. She has like a Kia Soul. She's got like a tiny little car.
Yeah.
And I was like, you should get the R3, fully electric. It's got some cool 70s styling.
It's
And
very
she was like,
cool.
you know what? I may do that one day.
Nice. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a cool car. Um my current favorite car, which is my most reasonable dream car, is the Bronco, the current Bronco.
ooh,
I love them.
yes.
Two-door or the four-door. Obviously, the higher on the builds you go, the better looking they get, I think. I don't like the sport, but I I would go and get a Bronco right now today if I had the money for it. I love that car. Um, I know it's probably not the most like fuel efficient, but it's got space. You know, you can put the family in it, you can put stuff in it, and it looks awesome. And I I truly love that car. And I don't know how long that'll last, but as long as they keep making them look as good as they do right now, that should last for a while. It's surprising too. It kind of came out of
I
nowhere.
really like the Bronco. Yeah, they worked on that one behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if they've announced an electric one.
Oh, that'd be cool. It
I don't
also
think they have yet, but they would. They will eventually.
they're a little bit hit and miss for me too. Like I don't like the soft shell ones. I don't like the two-tone ones. Like I like just the solid, the whole thing is the same color, big wheels, and
Dude, they have a Ford Bronco Raptor.
yes, I've seen that. Raptor edition.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
The Bronco to me is a better FJ Cruiser.
yeah, totally.
Not it, like way better, but like the FJ Cruiser was like a very unique car that was like very much like family car, but also can be sporty and adventurous.
Yeah, yeah.
Was in one. I didn't like it actually.
Okay.
So
I'm
I
down
only
to
have one
my
left.
okay. Who should go?
You have one left.
I have one that leads into my one, but they go hand in hand.
Uh, Up to you. You want to finish this off, or do you want me to finish this off? I think you should finish this off.
Okay, go ahead.
So I have a little bit of this one has like a story. This one actually like I am determined to get this car.
Yeah.
Um, it is a classic car, and this spawned from this was like a multi-pronged revelation. So we went down to San Diego. I think I probably told you the story, but we went down to San Diego and we took my friend's mom's Tesla. It was an old Tesla, so it didn't have like modern charging. The range is down to like barely 100 miles, which means you got to stop and recharge it. And so we took it down to San Diego and stopped at the outlets by San Clemente because there's a supercharger there. And there was their car show going on. Like it was a like Saturday, like everybody bring your cars like to the outlet parking lot and we'll like check out all the cars.
Yeah.
So we parked the Tesla, we're charging it. We walk into the garage. There's a purple McLaren. That a guy who owned a McLaren parked his McLaren to come over and take a picture of this McLaren. Like there were supercars. We went upstairs. There two Cybertrucks. I think this was like the first and closest I got to the Cybertrucks.
Okay.
One was red, didn't really like it. Cool cars or whatever. All these electric cars and whatnot, and then all of a sudden this guy starts his car and it's the like guttural, just gas engine. Like you can just feel it and smell it, and like being in the Tesla, seeing all this other stuff, and then here it did something to me where I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna lose that more and more. It's
Yeah.
getting farther and farther away. And so something like changed in my brain. And there is a car that I'd always heard about, never got to see it, that my grandpa had when he was young, and his first wife made him get rid of. And he would always talk about it. He'd watch auctions and all this stuff. And around this time, I was determined. I was like, I need to figure out what exactly that car was. And at some point, like going through pictures or whatnot, like I got a picture of it just from the front. And I tried to do some research. I think I had narrowed it down to like a 63 or 64. It was a Corvette.
Okay.
And I was like, it was some kind of a Stingray. So I ended up taking this picture, posting it on the Reddit for like identify this car,
Yeah.
and they nailed it down. It's a 1966 Corvette big block Stingray 427 convertible.
Oh my god.
And black.
Oh, this thing is beautiful.
And I will own this car one day.
Yeah.
Like I have to own this car one day.
Yeah.
And I will keep it in the garage in pristine condition, and every once in a while take it out, feel that engine,
Yep.
smell the gas.
Yep.
I want my like kids and grandkids, because everybody's gonna be in their little zippy electric cars, and you know what? I will too. I'll have some whatever
Yes.
car that we take around most of the time, but I need classic American muscle in my garage.
This thing is
And I don't care about
gorgeous.
any of the other cars that we talked about, the $1 million Ferraris and all of that. I'm like, I just want the Corvette that my grandpa used to have. That's it.
I love
That is when I said final dream car, like that is the only thing that I want. And my brother-in-law, my twin, he's getting super into cars.
Yeah.
He got a Miata. So now like he's learning how to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that because I need to learn how to drive. Can you drive stick?
No.
Yeah, we got to learn that.
I know.
because you're gonna have to drive it too.
Oh my, yeah, well, I'll be terrified too, but yes,
But
that is a super cool
yes,
car.
that is my final car. I've even tried to find like a model or something of it, and there's nothing.
Really? Yeah, I hear
But
what you're saying about
yeah,
like that's going away, and like obviously that makes me sad. I love cars, I love racing, all that stuff. I love the engine noise, I love the smell of gas and all that stuff. But at the same time, I equally think good. Electric cars are great. Like it's
hundred
fantastic that
percent.
we're veering towards that. But I love what you're saying about, and not everyone's going to, but keeping that piece of history in your garage and you take it out
Yes.
once a week, once a month, whatever it is, just to
Yeah.
remind yourself, remind people that like this is what we used to drive and it's not hurting anybody to drive it around a little bit right now, and
Yep.
it's more special to see them on the road that way. I think that's super cool. I love that.
So who knows how long it will take? It will probably take a long time, but
Yeah,
I did get the green light from Maya.
cool.
She was like 100% supportive of this because it's also it's literally the car my grandpa used to have. So
Yeah.
um, and he was so mad that his ex-wife made him get rid of it. Um, and I need to fix that and bring it back.
I love it. Um,
So hopefully I can.
yeah, I believe you will. Okay. Probably my favorite car to ever exist uh leads into my dream car. Um the DeLorean is fantastic. It's so cool looking, it's ridiculous, but it's so impractical. It like all I hear is it's just a hot box because the whole thing is metal and it's just so uncomfortable to drive, and people did not like them at the time. Like that's why it was ridiculous that Doc turned it into a time machine. Marty was like, "You made a time machine out of a DeLorean?" Like they weren't good cars, but they made it epic. They made it arguably the most epic car ever. And I will forever
Really.
love the DeLorean because of Back to the Future and all that. Now, this is not a
So do you want a DeLorean?
I used to. I mean, if I had unlimited funds, I would love to have one in the garage. Yes, but I'm not going to get one. I'm not going
Okay.
to spend money on one because I'm probably not going to enjoy driving it. But I would love to have one to look at, but that's a very very far away dream. Um this is not a direct correlation, but it reminds me of this car that I'm about to talk about. It might even be somewhat inspired by. This is a concept car that has been around for a couple of years. And the second I saw it, I'm like, that is the coolest car I've ever seen. It is the Hyundai Envision 74. And the second I saw it, I didn't realize it was a concept car. I thought they were going to be making it, and I pray that they do someday. It is so effing cool. It's got a spoiler, like it's very silver, very metallic looking. It has similar kind of shapes and contours as the DeLorean, but it's modern, it's clean. I'm sure it drives well, it's cool on the inside. It has amazing aesthetics on the inside. It looks very 80s but modern. And I absolutely love this car, and if they never make it, I'll be so sad.
How did they pull this off?
I don't know. It, of
This this is like the perfect car at the end of everything that we've um gone through because it's like the ultimate
it's a
convergence,
little bit of
I feel like,
everything.
of
Yeah.
all of this history.
It's so cool.
It's definitely like, is it 70s or
It's
is it
yeah,
80s or
because
is it
it's
90s?
based on uh, a Hyundai car from the Pony Coupe 1974 is what it's based on. So it's another one of
Okay.
their cars from 50 years ago that they modeled this one after, and so yeah, it is not actually modeled after the DeLorean, but it reminds me of it in its kind of shapes and stuff.
No, it's got DeLorean vibes. Oh, I see Hyundai Pony Coupe 1974.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it's and they're making a GT version?
oh yeah,
No. This was revealed at 2015 and called it 2025. I bet this comes out next year, or that they like talk about this next year.
You think?
Dude, it's got like Knight Rider vibes.
It's very Knight Rider vibes. The only thing I don't love that
It's got the pixel like headlights and taillights and
yes,
stuff.
yes. Oh, it really does. Oh, that's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I don't love the wheels. I know those can probably be changed. That makes it look so futuristic and kind of concepty that I wish they could come up with like a cooler kind of more mainstream like wheel for it. But yeah, I love it. I would
I
need one someday if it came out because I think it's the
I
coolest car.
very dig this car.
So yeah. Damn, dream cars. That was a fruitful topic.
Yeah, that went way more than I was expecting. I think it's so interesting all this 70s design is coming back.
Yeah. I don't know, like, does it go in waves of 50 years that we kind of start harkening back to, or it's just kind of random?
Or 20 years or 30 years because the 90s are back in fashion.
True.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
I think that car is in Forza Horizon.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to download that and see if I can play with it because that's awesome.
Wait, from a week ago? No way.
Because I feel like this concept came out maybe 2 years ago.
Literally, there's a post from 8 days ago saying, "How do I unlock that car?"
Oh wow.
Oh wow, they have the DeLorean in there too.
Cool. I gotta play Forza. I've never played it. Are you talking Motorsport or Horizon?
Horizon.
Cool. That's the one I more want to play anyways.
This might have like just come out,
That's awesome. That's good too because it
and I
means they're
don't know
still
if it's
thinking about
limited.
it. Like they're still kicking that
Oh,
car
that's a good
around.
point. Yeah. Damn, I might have to download some Forza Horizon.
Yeah.
Dude, see, I want to play that with you though.
Yeah, I'm down.
I just want to play some more racing games. Um, Shout out to the Escalade. To remember the Escalade era
Oh
when
god.
everybody had an Escalade.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great to look
Uh,
back on. I thought of that because of Midnight Club.
yeah.
Great game.
Also, I'm gonna shout out the Hummer for being such a horrendous gas guzzler to coming back as an electric car, and I think that's such a cool redemption story for the Hummer.
It's a good redemption story. I think it's still hated though.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't look good, but I think it's cool that they came out with an electric version to be like, what can you say now?
It's a
Well,
cool story.
it's
Yeah.
it's very beefy looking. My dad rented a
And crab
Hummer
walk.
for one of my birthdays.
No way.
Yeah,
Hummer limos.
showed up. Oh
That's
my
a
god,
thing.
yeah, it sure is. Well, let us know in the comments below what your favorite cars, dream cars are and have been over the years. I'd love to see what your favorites are out there. If you've enjoyed watching and listening to this, please consider supporting us on Patreon. We have some tiers there with some cool perks, including ad-free viewing and bonus content and bonus shows, all that kind of stuff. So please check that out. Check out our socials. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all Huber Rebels. We'll be posting clips and shorts and stuff on there. But I've got nothing else. My name is Jordan.
And my name is Ethan. We are the Huber Rebels.
Until next time.
Welcome to the rebellion.